No, I mean, it's a little company.
I mean, it's kind of a big deal.
All right. Well, now welcome to our Facebook Live, people. I'm about to introduce Amy with Boost Biz Ed, which is our education outlets here. So Amy's going to be educating us on spiral business growth. So Amy Simpkins is with Vision Architect, Spiral Business Growth. She's a coach, international speaker, and vision architect for business owners and professionals. She's on a mission to help you intentionally design fulfilling, high-impact work that leverages your natural cycles of ebb and flow. As a fellow geek and MIT-trained engineer, Ms. Simpkins architected complex missions to outer space. Now she's applying these space technology, proven design methodologies, and big picture mindset, infusing them with a heaping side of intuition and soul, which I don't think astronauts normally have, do they? They do? Okay. And putting it all to work to help you get the clarity, confidence, and momentum you need to thrive. She geeks out about design thinking and iterative development. Spirals are her favorite shape, and she loves seeing patterns emerge in seemingly unrelated subjects. She holds a Bachelor of Science in Aeronautics and Astronautics from MIT and a Master of Science degree in Aeronautical Engineering from the University of Southern California. She's designed and flown spacecraft?
Yes. Robotic spacecraft.
For Lockheed Martin. Sorry, I'm geeking out here, so pardon the intro. And currently leads business development and renewable energy startup, MooGrid Analytics. So join me in the geek and welcome Amy to the front of the room.
Switch over here. Thank you, Paul. So, do you remember the old Miller Lite advertising campaign? Say it for me. Taste.
The rainbow.
Miller Lite beer. Tastes great.
Less filling.
Less filling. It was ranked as one of the greatest advertising campaigns of all time. The list I saw said number 8. I don't know how you differentiate between number 1 and number 10, but there you go. And what happened in the commercial? Do you remember the commercial? You'd get one person who said they wanted a beer that tasted great, and you got another person who says, well, Miller Lite is less filling. And the first person would say, no, tastes great. Less filling. Tastes great. And then they throw their stuff down, and they start a brawl. And there was the one with it was like an actual mud pit, and that was very exciting. And it's funny, because the joke is that Miller Lite gives you both. Tastes great and is less filling. And the idea there is that you don't need to fight about it. You don't need to set them up as opposites. It's a false dichotomy. You can have tastes great and less filling in one beer. And how often do we do that? Humans are so funny about dichotomies. I am this, not that. I'm creative. I'm not logical. I am a logical, data-driven engineer. I am not creative. I am an introvert, not an extrovert. I am any number of personality tests that put my personality onto a 2-axis system. And I certainly am not the thing on the other side of the axis. But what if that wasn't true? Sure, what if your side of the dichotomy was like your right hand, or your dominant hand, sorry lefties. Your dominant hand, mine's my right, but you still have another hand that's perfectly effective and sometimes more effective at certain things than the dominant hand. What if? It happens to us in our business too. We have a certain set of leaders, gurus, people we look up to who are mentoring us in our business development, who say what you need to have in your business is structure, workflows, data, analytics to back up your advertising strategy. And then you have another set of gurus who says, no, go with the flow, follow your heart, create, Innovate. Think outside the box. Don't be trapped into a structure. And now we have two sets of gurus, right? You need a structure. Go with the flow. You need a structure. Go with the flow. We're all going to end up in a mud pit in a second. Have you seen this one going around? The path of entrepreneurship. We like to think it's going to be a long, straight path from where we are right now to incredible success, whatever success looks like. And we like to think that there's a 12-step system out there, that if only we have the right structure in place, if only we follow the right steps, we're going to follow this path. And what happens? You start to do the work, and the questions that you didn't even know you needed to ask come up, and what it really looks like is this giant tangle of a knot. Raise your hand if this is you. Have you been in that place? Raise your hand if you get into that place of the knot and you feel like throwing in the towel. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to not say you shouldn't have the knot. I'm not going to eliminate the knot for you, sorry. But it's also not a 12-step process. What we're going to do today is bring a little bit of order to the chaos. Okay? So it's not a long, straight path. Sorry. But even though it feels like the chaotic knot, it doesn't have to be a chaotic knot. Or even if it still feels, you see this presentation and you're like, we're going to bring order to the chaos. Fantastic. You're still going to be in places in your creation, in your business building, where it feels confusing and dark and like you've lost the bubble on the path and you can't remember where you put your map. You're still going to feel that. But what I'm here to tell you today, and if you take nothing else away, you can leave after this statement, is that even if you don't feel it, there is order in the chaos. And you are on the path. And all you need to do is remember that you have the map in your back pocket. I already had a wonderful introduction, so I'm not going to go over it. But I'm Amy Simpkins, and if you're here in the room, you can go ahead and look at your notes page and write my name in that top line that says the presenter. Here's my name. So if you want to talk to me about this afterwards, you can get that. And yes, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my story as we go through the presentation, but I really want you to see the framework, and then I'm going to go back and dive more into my story so that you can see how the framework has come into my own life, both my own business development and also my personal professional development. Because what we're here to, here's the overview. One more slide. Here's the overview. We're going to talk a little bit first about why business development, why spiral development. Why are we talking about a spiral as opposed to any other shape, other than it's my favorite shape? Then we're going to dig into the spiral. We're going to talk about each of the phases of the spiral and how you can use that and implement that. And when you get into that dark, confused place, you can take a step back and say, wait, which part of the spiral is this? I know. I'm somewhere on that roadmap. And then we're going to talk about, as the title of the talk said, we're going to talk about how the spiral helps you to integrate structure and flow. Not two opposing sides of a dichotomy, but integrated parts, your right hand and your left hand. Two tools in your toolbox to help you grow your business. So where were we? You start out in your business, you're inspired, you've got brilliant, genius ideas, and you're out to make an impact. And you start to execute, and you're going to do this with a capital D and a capital T, and you just end up in the dark, stuck, frustrated, and stagnant. And what went wrong? You were following all the steps they told you to follow. What went wrong? So I'm gonna go now into my it's not like I haven't been through this like 50 times. The thing is, when you get into that stuck place, it's that design is not a linear process. Now, some of you here in the room, we talked about what you do before we started this talk, and you're saying to me, but I'm not a designer, so this must not apply to me. But I will be so bold as to say that if you are building a business, you are a designer. Your business development is an exercise in design. You are building a new entity to deliver a new service, a new product, to be innovative, to solve problems. That's what designers do. They come up with new ways to solve problems.